Welcome to another episode of Farmer Insight Podcast with your host, Maddox, man. And today we're going to get into an old story that I just found out about. It's about a 911 operator just hanging up on people. Me growing up, and even to this day, I always have issues with a lot of these operators or customer service representatives, right? And one thing that I noticed is that it's a certain pattern. Not saying that anyone can't be rude when you call them, but I usually, it's going to sound crazy, but it's the truth. I usually have issues, the most issues, I should say, with black women operators or customer service representative on these phones, and a lot of Indian women. The Indian woman is usually a language barrier, but they be rude as well also, but not as rude as the black women on these calls, man. Well, let's take a look at this story, shall we?
Would you mind talking to us about what happened in court today?
No comments.
Krishonda Williams allegedly had no time for emergency callers and no time to talk to us either. After getting a court-appointed attorney, Williams refused to answer any questions on why she allegedly hung up on people calling 911 for help. But prosecutors did talk to us, saying in the two cases they've looked at so far, Williams hung up on callers using the emergency line. One caller was trying to report a store robbery that resulted in the clerk being killed. Another caller was trying to report illegal street racing. On that call, Williams's voice was recorded.
There was one recording where she hung up on a gentleman who was calling to report people who were racing on the freeways. And after the phone call is disconnected, you can still hear her speaking. And what she says is, ain't nobody got time for this for real.
Williams only faces 2 misdemeanor counts of interference with an emergency telephone call, but there could be many more cases out there.
We were able to narrow down in our period about 825 calls where somebody was actually calling 911 and not the non-emergency line, that she hung up on that person and that they called back within 5 minutes.
Disrespectful. That led to a person being unalive and you hang up the phone on them. You hang up on the phone on other callers saying, ain't nobody got time for this. Like, what? I understand that these operators need people to answer their calls, but y'all got to have a better vetting system because this is happening way too often.
Yeah, we first told you about that former 911 operator Tuesday. Well, a viewer saw that story and contacted us today to tell her it happened to her and her husband. Investigators say that between October 2015 and March 2016, Houston Emergency Center managers tracked thousands of dropped calls to a single 911 operator. This woman, 43-year-old Krishonda Williams. Williams has been charged with deliberately hanging up on callers in 2 of those cases, including one involving an armed robbery that left a store owner dead.
Where the minivan is sitting right here by the house, that's where she fell.
Buster Pendley says Williams hung up on him too. That was early on the morning of March 1st. His wife was near death after a blood clot moved to her lungs.
She was gasping and I could feel her heart beating out of her chest, but I couldn't get a pulse.
Pendley says he was trying to perform CPR with one hand while calling 911 with the other.
The 911 operator answered the phone and she said, "This is Krishonda, may I help you?" I said, "Yes, my wife's passed out, I need an ambulance." When she said, "Okay," and she hangs up on me.
An ambulance finally arrived after a second call, and Pendley's wife survived. But just thinking about it still makes her angry.
I was furious because he didn't tell me, because I would have gotten from my hospital bed and gone to 911 to find out who did that to me.
Williams
Wow.
is charged with 2 counts of interfering with an emergency call. That's a Class A misdemeanor. It's punishable by up to a year in jail and a $4,000 fine if she's convicted, and that's for each count.
I'm pretty sure they said they got over about 1,000 calls that's linked to her. I'm pretty sure they have way more stories of other people doing the same exact thing. This is nuts, man. Let me ask y'all a question. Is it automatically racist for her to deny these white people calls? Let me ask y'all a question. Is it automatically racist that she denied white people assistance on these calls? Because I'm pretty sure other racist people in the calls that she denied also. But I'm just saying, because if it was reversed, y'all would say it's automatically racist. If it was a white person that hung up the phone on black people saying, we ain't got time for that, and led to black people being unalived, the news and media will label it as a racist white 911 op that denied black help. So, by that logic, if she's automatically racist by doing that, I'm telling you, man, I think it's these hair wigs and hair weaves. I'm telling you, man, y'all don't believe me, man. Like, I'm telling you, you saw all the weaves in her hair? It's eating her whole hair up. She turned into a baby Stevie Wonder. I'm telling you, man, don't be surprised that you find out that these hair weaves are controlling these women's brains. It's demonic. With that being said, man, you have a good day. I just want to run that past y'all, man. This stupid ass story. With that being said, y'all be good. Have a good day. Later.